It is Monday, September 11th, 2023, and you can join me every week for the greatest political commentary known to man. Joe Biden himself once said, "Corruption is a cancer that eats away at a citizen's faith in democracy, diminishes the instinct for innovation and creativity." In all of their creativity, the Biden administration is now looking at descheduling marijuana possession on the federal level. That's fine, I guess. I mean, weed is currently on the same level legally as stuff like heroin. So fine, maybe it is not that bad, but it's still not good. Even if it's not as high an offense, it is still far away from becoming fully legal from sea to shining sea. There are states, counties, cities that have already put laws on the books to criminalize weed in the event that it does go federally legal. Another major issue is sobriety testing for drivers. Your blood alcohol concentration can be determined by a breathalyzer, but marijuana is tested by urine sample and can show up in your system on average for 90 days. So there is no way to prove that someone isn't high when driving if they've used in the last couple of months. The silliest part of all this, though, is that Biden claims the reasoning behind his stance is race-based, actually. He seriously said that his motivation to decriminalize marijuana is a testament of his commitment to the black community. That is one of the most racist things I've ever heard. Personally, I know many potheads. A lot of them are you guys, listeners of this show, and all of them are white. So stop with the profiling, Joe. White people can be just as worthless druggies as black people can be. This is your weekly reminder to follow and subscribe to the Conservative American Message on all platforms, whether it be Instagram, Facebook, Threads, X, Truth Social, Spotify, YouTube, Apple. We are everywhere. And please share this episode with all of your friends so we can keep offending everyone. A growing number of Republicans are discussing the possibility of a Biden impeachment. It all started with Representative Marjorie Taylor Greene, who has basically been calling for his impeachment since the presidency began. She has filed for his impeachment on 9 different occasions, the first time being on his first day in office. Which, all things considered, isn't that preposterous. But now it isn't just the ultra-conservatives who are on board with taking action. Even Speaker McCarthy has indicated that he will likely be bringing a vote to the floor. He said that the ongoing investigations by Congress are reaching impeachment level and that it's a natural step forward. It looks like a vote may actually happen here sometime in September, and if Biden somehow escaped that impeachment vote, a lot of faith in our democracy would be lost, if you ask me. Biden has committed so many crimes through the use of his power both as vice president and now as president. In comparison, Nixon looks like a Boy Scout. And if the standard is set for impeaching Trump on such baseless grounds that he was impeached for, Biden should go to prison for life. It absolutely boggles my mind to think that Trump was impeached for simply investigating Biden's involvement with Burisma in Ukraine. And now you have Biden sending billions of our tax dollars to Ukraine as basically hush money as he and his son continue to profit from it all, yet it is barely being questioned, at least not in the mainstream. And hey, I don't think it's right to just point fingers and try to impeach every president that you disagree with. But we have the facts here that we took directly from the Congressional Oversight Committee's website. They have an entire timeline that lays out the business dealings that Biden has made for himself since the beginning of the Obama administration. I won't bore you by listing every last transaction that they include in this timeline, but I would certainly encourage you to go check it out for yourself at oversight.house.gov/the Biden's influence peddling timeline. The most infamous offense, though, is that involving Ukrainian company Burisma. The oil company, which Hunter Biden sat on the board of, in 2015, they were being investigated by a Ukrainian prosecutor for fraud. Hunter, worried, decided to turn to his father for help, who was vice president at the time. Joe then used this power as vice president to threaten the Ukrainian government that they must fire this prosecutor or else he would withhold international aid funds to the country. How do we know this exactly? Well, because Joe publicly bragged about the deal. Listen to this.
I was, not but it just happened to be, that was the assignment I got. I got all the good ones. So I got Ukraine. And I remember going over convincing our team, or others, to convincing us that we should be providing for loan guarantees. And I went over, I guess, the 12th, 13th time to Kyiv, and I was supposed to announce that there was another $1 billion loan guarantee. And I had gotten a commitment from Poroshenko and from Yatsenyuk that they would take action against the state prosecutor, and they didn't. So they said they were walking out to press conference. I said, no, I'm not going to, or we're not going to give you the $1 billion. They said, you have no authority. You're not the president. The president said. I said, call him. I said, I'm telling you, you're not getting the $1 billion. I said, you're not getting the $1 billion. I'm going to be leaving here, and I think it was, 6 hours? I said, I'm leaving in 6 hours. If the prosecutor's not fired, you're not getting the money. Well, son of a bitch. Got fired.
If Republicans in Congress have any sense at all, they will take him down. But the fact that they haven't done it yet with all of the evidence, it's truly hard telling what will actually come out of this. I really have to question whether Biden is as senile as we all think. Sure, it's fun to laugh when he trips and flubs his sentences, but beneath that act, I think there's a sinister evil at heart of that guy. Either way, we got to know one thing for sure. Joe has got to go. Well, that's all I have time for. Were you offended by this podcast? Good. Thanks for listening, guys. I really appreciate you all.